With the rise in fitness racing and the ever-present more and more events that are popping up for Hyrox and hybrid racing over the weekend, is Hyrox A Sport or is it a race? I've not really been doing too much Hyrox training at the moment, but I am still coaching quite a lot of Hyrox clients, and we went to the Hybrid Games in Liverpool last weekend, which was a really cool event, really well set up, and I had quite a few people running there, including my brother-in-law. So what we're going to do today is run through the Hybrid Games station work, just because at the moment I can't do the runs because the meniscus tear. We might have to swap one or two of the stations for alternatives, but we're going to give it a good crack and see how we get on. So first movement we've got is the 50 cal assault bike, nasty, and then we've got wall balls. So in Hyrox, obviously wall balls comes last, so it's super leg dominant at the start. Then we've got your sit on the arse movement, which is the row. Burpee broad jumps, which I'll probably have to change, or just do a burpee just because it's gonna do my knee over. Dumbbell snatches, lunges, again, maybe I have to do reverse lunges, farmer's carry, ski, and then sled push. We'll try and do the 200 meters at the end. That'll be the tasty one. I'm not gonna go balls to the wall with these either. That wasn't too bad. 3 minutes, pretty much bang on. But I've been doing a lot of bike at the moment, so I feel like not too bad a condition on that. And then I was trying to use more arms because I knew this was going to be very leggy going into wall balls. I feel like inferior, we've got to use this because of the knee, but that doesn't mean that you're inferior if you take the boxing Hyrox. It's just, I'm so used to not using it, but I need it for the knee. After watching Hunter go unbroken yesterday though, no excuses, 50-50, we're going to try and go. Obviously because we've got the bench, it doesn't feel as bad, and it's a 6 kilo wall ball, so it feels a lot easier than doing Hyrox Pro. But then again, I've not done the run in between. But my legs do feel quite conditioned from the bike. So I think it's good to switch things up and have the assault bike. By the way, I'd imagine on doubles ruins you with the pace. But I like the start of the competition. Favourite station, rower. Quite nice one to have in third after you've just done leggy stuff as well. So I always say to people when you're doing Hyrox, it's on the row. Treat it as in like it's your rest or recovery because it's the only station that you're on your arse. I think the good thing about hybrid games and those kind of events that are popping up around the UK is that a little bit like the Manchester Marathon, when people can't get in London, look what other races are about. So it's clever to sweep up on the market where there's a high demand and people can't get tickets for the obviously very popular Hyrox will go into other events. So I think it's great that there's more and more coming up for people to get involved with. Oh, okay, I don't mind the row. It's that station again where you get to sit on your arse for a little bit and not go too hard. But there's a couple other events as well. People looking for events which are going to be competitive to Hyrox. We've got Forders Gym puts on a lot of events, ESN, you have the Hybrid Games. I think, what's the one that Billy did? I think he's got the world record for it when he did it last year. It's like all mud. It's like a good setup as well. So take a look around. I think it's always good practice for if you're going to do Hyrox to get involved in different events and use them as A/B races, split tests, so you're getting on and just diversify your training a little bit. So we're going to skip the burpees. You've seen me do burpees before. We know we can do a burpee. Fairly slow, but we can do a burpee. So we're going to go straight for the dumbbell snatch, which is going to be a lot of posterior chain. A movement that obviously isn't Hyrox, a bit more CrossFit-y, and I think that plays more into my strength, and I'm looking forward to 20 kilo dumbbells, just ripping it. How are double splitting these? Which is still 50 reps for doubles. I'll check at the end because I'm doing a solo one. So doubles might be more reps, don't know, I'll have to check. Done. Yeah, that was alright, that one. Again, I don't mind those CrossFit style stations where a little bit more weight, a bit more dynamic rather than burpees and body weights. I'm just not built for that shit. Just dense. like a brick. But we've got lunges next, I have to be careful on the knee. So we get on with that one. Alright there. Pretty happy with the station wear considering I haven't done too much over the past few weeks. I think like if you don't use it, you lose it. But stations have felt alright. I feel quite strong on them. Mate, anything that's running based hurts my knee. And because this is loaded, hurts my knee. I feel like a bitch saying that because, you know, as a world record holder, I should be able to get through it. But this is the one that causes the most issue. Oh, feels like so much fucking just carrying ski egg. Let's go. So odd the ski egg to this far in the race, by the way. The thing that I like about the hybrid event is I think it suits people who, for example, are more like my close friends like Mark Dean, Charlie Boffer, who competed last weekend, because it's obviously one less running, but two, I think there's more metabolic damage, like CrossFit stuff involved, especially with the assault bike at the start, whereas Hyrox now has become way more and more about the runners. Like Tim Weenish, who won yesterday, Hunter obviously finished second, but is a freak of nature. You look at all those guys at the top now, they're just elite runners, and that's what Hyrox is about. So I think if you can pivot on that as a different event and cater more to the non-runner, so to speak, that's the stronger guy, that's what it's going to be about. The fact that Hunter pulled a 139 that yesterday for a K. Like, if you're not doing a lot of tri-pull and ski erg for a K, just a K, not even with the rest of the event involved, gives you a perspective of the level of athlete that's now in Hyrox. Fucking insane. I think it's a pace that run at the end. Fucking ruins there's one way to get past. Shouldn't really be running that fast, but it doesn't feel as bad on the curved treadmill. 200 metres at the end of that pace, like 240, 245 hurts. So it's felt good, I think, because it's a lot lighter than pro weight at Hyrox, and then it's only 60 metres as opposed to I think it's 80. Obviously the sled being at the end of the race, way more difficult. I took breaks in this workout and we chatted for a little bit. It's not like a full proper sim, but I enjoyed that, it was good. The change to Hyrox felt a little bit short. I mean, even with the time that you saw, I think it's around 51, which shows like, I think Charlie's like a 57-minute Hyrox athlete, so definitely a quicker course. Enjoyed it. The other reason why I think other competitions can do well is by creating an atmosphere and a good vibe. I think Hybrid was good last weekend. The event that Ford as an ESM put on was good. My only point with Hyrox now is how much it becomes about ego. And I guess a big part of that as well for people is going to be how busy the courses are. People don't want to be running around a super busy course, which I think for a lot of the new events going to be an advantage. The second thing is competition's going to be slightly lower, and that's not even a bad thing because people are starting the sport of fitness racing, I think, potentially get a bit put off by the really high level of standards, so it's nice for people to be able to go somewhere and get a good spot. And the third thing, yeah, ego. I think there's a lot of it kind of creeping in, and you see some of it online, people talking about Hyrox now and those sorts of little bits of ego creeping in, like people going to war and that kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, you should be training hard, but you know, it's not war, it's not life or death. At the end of the day, everyone's pulling ski ergs that go nowhere and throwing balls and metal targets and running around in circles. It's not that deep. Don't attach your self-worth to a time. So the main question is Hyrox a sport or a race? And I guess it's where it becomes muddy because essentially Hyrox is OCR racing, which is obstacle course racing, which sounds pretty lame when you say that, but that's what it is. And OCR racing is classed as a sport. So in hindsight, you could say it's a sport. I think it's like penny per pound, you could argue either way, but I'd class it as a sport. I think with the way it's moving I think the announcements they made this weekend are massively in line with them wanting to try and get into the Olympics. So if the goal is for it to become an Olympic sport, surely that qualifies to be a sport as well. But let's just chat GBT it as well and see what that comes up with. Basically, you could have not watched the whole video and just chat GBT, which is the answer to everything these days. So is Hyrox a sport? Yeah, Hyrox is absolutely a sport. Not only that, it's one of the fastest growing hybrid fitness sports in the world right now. So people call it hybrid fitness racing, hybrid fitness sport. It's a structured competition with rules, athletes. It's a fucking sport.